first time the lights went out, I thought it was just a game. But the minutes turned into hours. That night, I learned something. Energy isn't a right, it's a privilege sold at a price. The blackout wasn't a failure. It was the system working exactly as designed. Centralized energy consolidates both political and economic power in the hands of a few corporations or state entities. These entities decide how energy is produced, distributed, and priced. Entire populations become vulnerable to monopolies, price manipulation, and geopolitical conflicts. The ASEAN-powered grid vision is a cross-border, interconnected energy market designed for efficiency and economic growth. Its net zero ambitions has led to the integration of renewables such as hydropower that dominates this transition, but who controls this transition and who pays for its ecological and social costs? Several Southeast Asian countries are generating excess hydropower energy for export. However, large-scale hydro projects often disrupt local ecosystems, displace communities, and alter natural water cycles. Decentralized renewable energy shifts power generation from centralized plants to localized systems, reducing single points of failure, adapting to local needs, and giving communities greater control over their own energy. But decentralization faces resistance. Many fear shared systems lack accountability and will descend into chaos. Yet ownership isn't the only path to responsibility, trust can be built differently. This is where blockchain transforms decentralized energy systems. Beyond cryptocurrencies, its core function is transparency and accountability. Acting as an unchangeable digital ledger, visible to all but unalterable, it records energy production, distribution, and usage in real time, ensuring fairness and trust. By embedding accountability into the system itself, blockchain removes the need for a central authority, enabling a system where responsibility is shared rather than concentrated. This shift is especially crucial for coastal areas in Southeast Asia, where centralized energy systems prioritize industrial hubs and urban centers, leaving peripheral communities exposed. These regions not only face energy neglect but also heightened risks from storm surges and rising sea levels, making energy security even more precarious. Yet, these same coastal regions hold immense potential for energy generation. With abundant tidal resources, they are ideal for decentralized renewable systems. By bringing energy production closer to demand, coastal communities can become self-reliant, reducing dependence on distant grids while strengthening resilience against climate threats. More than energy hubs, these are beacons of another possible world, a group of seekers, dreamers, and builders drawn together, testing forms of emancipation from the grid. Scattered along Southeast Asia's coasts, they are no longer isolated islands, but a constellation. From this shared vision, DeReX is born, not just a community, but a revolution. A decentralized autonomous organization, where blockchain binds trust, where governance is no longer imposed but woven into the fabric of daily life. Here, energy is no longer controlled by the few, but exchanged freely. The grid no longer holds them captive, the tide no longer dictates their fate. And as the tide shifts, it asks nothing of you, only that you choose. Will you fight the current? Or will you rise with it? How can we design coastal energy systems that are not just decentralized in structure, but also in governance? My project proposes a new model, one where architecture, blockchain, and resource sharing converge to form DeReX, the Decentralized Resource Exchange Cooperative. The tidal commons is a radical departure from energy monopolies. It reframes energy as a shared coastal resource. The vast potential of the ocean as an energy source, it remains largely untapped. The tidal common seeks to bridge this gap with systems designed to integrate decentralized ocean energy into everyday life. I studied 3 key systems: floating wave converters, seabed anchored tidal turbines, coastal tidal lagoons. Each responds to depth, velocity, and location, creating a mosaic of energy potential across the shoreline. But beyond energy, I integrated food and water systems, aquaponics, desalination, coastal agriculture. This creates a closed-loop economy, where survival supports productivity, and productivity supports autonomy. Case studies like Bangladesh's peer-to-peer solar trading show this works. Access improved, costs dropped, and innovation flourished. However, decentralizing energy isn't just a design choice, it reveals a deeper tension. The ocean could be harvested by many, but controlled by few. And at the edges of the coastline, people can rewrite the rules, not through protest, but persistence. The narrative goes like this: ASEAN governments introduced NEX, the Networked Energy Exchange, as a blockchain-based platform to stabilize energy markets, attract private investment, and regulate cross-border renewable trade. Resorts, ecotourism hubs, and urban centers relied on NEX to secure clean energy, while coastal workers maintained the very tidal farms that powered the system. But when demand spiked, energy flowed to those who paid most, not those who produced it. A group of coastal workers studying NEX's blockchain framework discovered a loophole: while NEX regulated large-scale transactions, it did not restrict peer-to-peer exchanges. Quietly, they began rerouting excess tidal energy into localized microgrids, creating informal energy sharing networks between settlements. What started as a workaround grew into a parallel system, transparent, cooperative, and rooted in the coast. This is how DeReX, the Decentralized Resource Exchange Cooperative, took shape. Not as defiance, but as a practical correction to centralized priorities. For energy decentralization to function, governance must be embedded into the system itself. Instead of relying on corporate intermediaries, blockchain enables communities to track, trade, and manage energy autonomously. DeReX Cooperative operates through key spatial components. Joining the cooperative, members gain access to decentralized energy and resource networks. A system where energy, food, and water are shared instead of sold. Accessing decentralized trading stations, blockchain interfaces facilitating real-time peer-to-peer transactions. Interactive and governing energy nodes, hubs managing power production and trade. Blockchain governance is no longer just digital, it manifests spatially, shaping how people interact with energy and resources. Over time, adaptive governance models allow these networks to evolve based on environmental, technological, and social shifts. To translate decentralized governance into built form, I developed a modular kit of parts: habitation clusters, floating housing networks integrated into tidal grids. Grid hybridization hubs, decentralized energy centers connecting tidal, wave, and solar power. Distributed collaborative nodes, small-scale hubs facilitating peer-to-peer energy exchange. Aquaculture networks, coastal food production supporting energy autonomous economies. As governance decentralizes, architecture follows suit, moving from fixed infrastructure to dynamic, adaptable networks. 3 scenarios can be formed: Scenario 1, minimal population. Scenario 2, medium density. Scenario 3, high density. Kota Kinabalu is the ideal testbed for decentralized energy governance due to strong tidal currents, ideal for kinetic energy harvesting. Existing energy adjacencies, a bridge between urban centers and decentralized networks. Climate vulnerability, making self-sustaining infrastructure essential for long-term resilience. Gaya Island, just off the coast, suffers from energy poverty despite being surrounded by high-value tourism and development. DeReX presents a chance to integrate renewable energy with economic transformation, positioning the tidal commons not just as a resource but as a foundation for sovereignty. To establish the tidal commons cooperative, different phases emerge spatially over time. Phase 1, generating energy and connecting to the mainland. Point absorbers and the grid hybridization hub are deployed first. These establish a tidal energy base and connect to the mainland. Phase 2, expanding the ecosystem. Habitation clusters, collaborative nodes, and aquaculture networks form a decentralized, self-sustaining loop. These interact dynamically, enabling exchange, governance, and food production. The growth map visualizes this evolution, color-coded by phase, density, and program. Southeast Asia's coasts have always been shaped by tides, the same tides that once carried traders, sustained fishing villages, and connected cultures across the region. Today, they carry something new, the possibility of energy independence. Through DeReX, these waters become more than a source of power, they become the foundation for a shared energy commons. By linking coastal communities through tidal systems and blockchain governance, we can achieve true regional energy sovereignty, where no single actor owns the tide, and every community shares in its flow. The final video serves as both an architectural showcase and a storytelling moment. Across Southeast Asia, a new current rises: decentralized resource exchange. DeReX begins not with wires, but with water. A system built at the edge, where governments, locals, and tides negotiate power. Energy sovereignty becomes real, not as a policy, but as a practice. Every action in DeReX is traced, not to control, but to coordinate. On the blockchain, choices become structure: vote to open a new platform, and bridges deploy across the lagoon, approve a shaded gathering space, and the commons reshapes itself before sunset arrives. There is no ruling class, only smart contracts that translate collective intent into form. The architecture is the ledger: every panel placed, every room opened, is a decision made visible. When the storm comes, they hold the grid together. Not with commands, but with care. And in the morning, the light returns, not from the capital, but from each other.